Okay, in this screencast I'm going to cover installing Windows 7 inside a virtual machine. For your reference, I'm going to be doing this on a machine running OS X Lion. I'm going to be using VMware Fusion 4 for the virtualization. This is going to be a similar process if you're installing on a drive in a physical machine. But before we start, I want to make you aware that if you carry out this process on a hard drive that already contains files, you will lose those files. Okay, to start my install, I'm going to create a new virtual machine inside VMware Fusion. So I'm going to start with the Create New option. I'm then going to provide my installation media. If you're installing from a physical disk, you can insert it at this point and select the Continue button. I'm going to be using an image file of the installation media, so I'm going to select the Continue Without Disk. I'm then going to select Choose a Disk or Disk Image, press that twice, select my installation media and open it, and then Continue. VMware Fusion then detects the operating system on the installation media, which in this case is the 64-bit version of Windows 7. We select Continue as that's correct. We're then going to deselect the Easy Install option. This is going to prevent Fusion from trying to automate our install. We then Continue. We're going to customize settings so we can increase the virtual memory inside the machine. We choose a file name and file location, which in this case is fine. Choose the processor and memory option. Increase this to 2 GB of RAM. Close the settings pane. And then we're ready to start our machine. Before we go any further, we're going to switch to Lion's full screen mode, and then we're going to press the play button to start a virtual machine. This is going to start the boot process and causes the Windows setup to load. We're now presented with a language selection screen. I'm going to change this to the United Kingdom. That then goes and updates the keyboard for me as well. I can pick Next and then select Install Now. Windows then carries on loading for a bit more. We're then going to get to setting up our hard drive in a second. Before we do that, we select I accept the license terms, agree to license terms. We then have two options to either upgrade or do a custom advanced install. We're going to want the custom install. We could then either pick drive options, advanced, that lets us do a custom partition on the drive. For us, we just want to allocate all the disk space, so we're going to select next. Windows will then copy and expand files. When that's done, we get taken to create our first user account. We're probably going to speed up this process a little bit, so it's going to probably look a bit faster than it will be on your actual machine, just so we don't have to sit through and wait for everything. Once we get to the account creation screen, we type in our name. Windows then auto-generates us a computer name. We can change this if we like. This is going to be the name that's going to identify you in the network. I'm going to change mine to be Pocket Seed. Then select Next. Then type in a password. For this example, I'm going to just type in password, but it's recommended you pick a secure password and don't pick password. Type in a hint that's going to help you remember that password. Again, we're just going to use password in this example. Here you need to type in the product key that would have been supplied on your Certificate of Authenticity sticker. I'm just going to select Next so we don't publish any keys into the public domain. I generally recommend we pick the recommended settings here because you're going to want to keep your machine up to date with those security updates. If any of this information is incorrect at this stage, you can correct it here. Everything looks fine for me, so I'm going to click Next. We're going to pick Home Network, so that's where I'm using this machine. Okay, now the installation is finished and we're at the Windows desktop for the first time. So that's it for the installation of Windows 7 Screencast. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please leave me any comments on how you think we can improve things and what you'd like to see in future screencasts.